Hello, good day, salutations and greetings. My name is Margie. I'm a empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things today. I feel pretty good about things. Slept pretty good. Nothing traumatic happened through the night. Nothing scary. All present and accounted for. Mom's good. I'm good. The dogs are well. It's a positive day. I gotta remember, I gotta keep in mind a few things to maintain my peace and my serenity, because what people don't understand is when you've been through war, you want peace. When you've been without, you don't want other people to go without. So for people like me, what they're doing, how they're trying to lead the evolution of this civilization, it's hard to watch. And the thing of it is they know that the human race has already slowed to a stroll. It's practically stopped. Look around. Yeah, because they have conditioned the people for years and years, to stand up and believe in freedom. However, in order to do so, you need to be obedient, and that creates a level of cognitive dissonance. Makes people a little nutty, I noticed it my whole entire life. Do as I say, not as I do. These freaking a-holes, that it doesn't matter, as long as somebody is in charge, they're probably the biggest a-hole in the room. I was I'm so past all this freaking, at this point where I'm coming from is you've had a year and a half, people, the whole planet, me, we've had a year and a half to reduce the risk of physical ailments by choosing health, a healthy diet, exercise, a spiritual conditioning, maybe that even rounds people out a little bit more when they believe in something outside themselves. They're not running the show. That's all. That's all you got to do to be a Satanist, is just do whatever you want whenever you feel like it, and it doesn't matter how other people, what it does to other people. Now, the next chapter, the way I see it right now, it's going to be interesting, because you can judge a person that by how they treat people that can't do anything for them. Yeah. And I catch myself doing it because I ain't a fan of rich people. Rich people make my third eye twitch. When people have so much, I'm talking like millions of dollars. You got millions of dollars at the bank, you freaking, you've been part of the military industrial complex. I think it is hilarious how delusional these people my age, their dads are dying. They've been lieutenant colonels, they've been colonels, and people I know that I went to basic with, they did 20 years and stuff, it's all freaking blood money. It's all blood money. So at this point, everybody knows that military conflicts are made up to stimulate the economy and to freaking ruin people's spirits. The soldiers that do it, all the while the people that are making them do it get to freaking absorb all the resources, They're the ones that made all and they don't care about these, because out of sight, out of mind, they're military bearing, call it whatever you want it. Their ignorance is bliss. They don't care. They just get to use human resources to make money. And now we live in a world where there's plenty of people that have plenty of money, and then there's on the other side of that coin is people that don't have their basic needs. And there's just that big old huge division. That big old huge, it ain't fair. It's not fair that people get to withhold, It ain't the spirit in the spirit. So more and more people are going to get their karma. It happens all the time. Northern California is burning down. Your quality of air is crap. Yeah, you got Shasta Lake, but it's empty. It's emptying out every day. You know, karma, man, it's how people act. If people constantly act in a low vibrational way, collectively, if more people do that in like a town or a city, that brings down the literal vibration and the energy field of that area. So like the bigger city, you got freaking, you know, the more a bigger city sucks, the more lower vibrational behavior, it brings out the vibrational frequency in that city. And like attracts like. So people are learning more about harvesting energy. People are learning more about, you know, how easy it is to lose your spirit, to sell your soul. Just go work for that company. Just go work for that multi-billion-dollar company and do everything they ask you to do just because, you know, you're just doing your job, and get that 6 figures, buy those cars, buy all that property. Because what you serve, you endorse. What you give your money, what you give your attention to, what you give your focus on, you are all for. I try to keep it balanced. I try to keep it even keel. When I feel like I'm talking too much negativity, I try to throw a little positivity in there just to keep it even. You know, well, people had an opportunity last year and a half to, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, all these unhealthy people are getting sick and dying. I better work on my health. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. They ate their feelings instead of talking about. Dude, it's not my fucking fault. Other people choose to freaking eat their feelings instead of choosing to freaking talk about them and go exercise. And, you know, I mean, I learned in junior high. I hated my freaking PE teacher in junior high, Miss Menifee. She sucked. I failed because I wouldn't dress out and take showers in PE because I knew I liked girls, and I didn't if it was inappropriate, not that I was looking at them, but I just always just didn't feel like I needed to be there. So the teacher doesn't take that into account. They just fail you. It don't matter. So anyway, but she did instill in me the importance of health. You know, and hell, my grandparents I had to go to, because I was always muscular, so they always took that as fat. So I remember going to freaking, they had me go to the Weight Watchers meetings freaking in Central Valley in like 1986. I was the only 12-year-old in the room, of course. All these other old women in their 70s, 60s, 70s. You know? People have been trying my whole entire life to tell me that I need to modify my behavior. That I need to fit in. I used to do a real good job. I was a people pleaser because I was one of those with early childhood trauma. And so either people become more empathic or they become way more narcissistic, usually when your body hits a vibrational frequency like that, related to terror. You know, and people that have never had terrifying things happen to them, they just don't understand. So I ain't talking to them. No. Go back to your ignorance is bliss, and that stuff doesn't happen in this world. So, excuse me. I had to get that out. I have allergies here. I didn't know. I don't know if I've ever lived in a place where I have allergies before. But anyway, even when I was in the Air Force, I had fat guys making me go to the gym, and I went to the gym and got off this chunky chicken program. But they managed to milk it for 20 years, you know. And so all along the way, all these people are telling me how I needed to be, and in doing so, I picked up all the good stuff, all the good reasons as to why I needed to be that way. Because healthier people are happier people. You know, you lose it. You don't use something, you lose it. You know, and that's why I look around, I see the whole world. They're sad because they didn't they're like the people in Cocoon that waited too long. And that, like, you know, didn't believe. And then told everybody, ran their mouth, and then everybody got the good juice. I guess this would make more sense if you've seen Cocoon. And people didn't do it. People didn't get in the good juice. They didn't get in their own solution. They didn't become their own solution. They still rely on everybody else to make things better for them. And so they're scared and they ate their feelings more. A lot of people put on more weight during this whole spam-demic. And then they got scared because they're, all they got to do is tell people, oh, it's coming back. So then they're scared. So then I got to wear a mask because they're fucking scared. I've had one cold in 15 years. What about us healthy people? What do we get? What kind of bonus do we get for not being a fucking drain on society and going and being a freaking emergency room junkie? What do we get for freaking handling our problems and getting through stuff all the while dealing with life's everyday struggles? What do we get? Huh? Because we did the work. People like me that try and help other people by letting them know that if you just live in this day, just live this day only. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't think about too much about tomorrow, and definitely don't think about stuff that freaking happened yesterday or last year or years ago or whatever, because if you're thinking about stuff that makes you sad, it keeps you in that low vibrational frequency, yeah. I don't know how it's gonna be. I see, and that's the thing. It's just like all these people are saying 2024, 23 population of the Earth is gonna dip substantially, and it's different. It's scientists, it's astrologers, it's all these different venues, but they say the same stuff, even though they get their data. Their data is backed by different, agendas. As an IT professional, I've understood for a very long time that data, you can only collect so much data. Data points, data focus, you can only get so much data. And data is always driven by the person that's asking for the data. They want to make the person happy, so it's gonna sway. And the government, when has the government ever said anything true? And how come nobody can ever answer that question for me? They've never said anything true. So why people believe them when they tell you the number of the population of the planet, why they believe you when they tell you the number of people that died. And this, obesity has been, top 3 killer, bouncing around with cancer and stuff like that. And it'll kill people long after, this imposed wave of fear. It's just a new storyline. Controllers know that people are easier to manipulate when they're scared. So go after to tell people what they're afraid of. Give them a reason. Natural disasters, make them happen. Dude, this whole world is a freaking story. It's all a stage. And the thing of it is like, how are things going to get better? When people are so closed off? I see it in that people don't even look at people in the eye, in the face. They're just so closed off. So the controllers have been winning. The controllers are winning, and I haven't seen enough evidence in real life where the people are coming into their own desire for freedom, because they're just good enough. They're just good enough with what they got. You give mediocre people just enough, they'll be satisfied, and you can lead them right off to the cliff. You can jump off a bridge and they'll just follow you right in suit. The art of thinking is it's a lost art for sure. I never believe it's in my astrology though. I encourage people to go in there in astrology and to look and see what they're about. I really do encourage people to do that. And this is what it says. This is kind of funny. I was looking up on a different site the other day of what it says about me. And I'm an Aries sun. It says I can be inspirational, courageous, enthusiastic, original, independent, impatient, aggressive, headstrong, selfish, self-centered, and impulsive. Your energies are directed toward building a new individuality. Thus, your energies are directed toward yourself and what you want. You like roles where your relationships abilities are put on display. It says your leadership abilities, not relationship abilities. I don't got relationship abilities. I do know how to lead, because I ain't one of those that ain't gonna freaking tell anybody to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. And that is the freaking surefire sign of a freaking decent leader. And I look around, I'm like, dude, no wonder this country's screwed. There ain't no good leaders. See, you have the executive and organizing ability, which is mainly directed in starting things. Sustaining projects is not your strength. No, I am not a freaking marathon runner. I am a sprinter, short distance, very short distance sprinter. But I got the ideas. I just turn my ideas over to other people, and they can freaking prosper from them. I got all day. I got ideas all day long. Sustaining your projects is not your strength, but initiating projects is. The tendency to damn the torpedoes at ram full speed ahead must be controlled. That's why I meditate. You know, my mom has been instilling in me since I was freaking probably 3 years old, because I used to freaking throw tantrums. I was one of those people that hold my breath and throw myself on the ground and tighten every freaking muscle in my body up for the release. Because I'd always get to a point where it would just maximize, and then I'd freaking let go, and then it would be that release. And growing up, I chased that release, that reprieve into bottles, numerous bottles of booze, drugs, all kinds of experimental things, just to get that pain to stop, physical and emotional. What it came back to is me learning how to meditate, keeping my energy filled and trying not to get too riled. But as you can see, or as I can demonstrate, you're capable of great accomplishments if you learn how to constructively use your abundant energies. You're naturally enthusiastic and are always ready for activity and competition. The fun kind, where everybody just gets to have a good time. The poor sports have ruined the world, man. You are inspiring to others because of these tendencies. Ideas and creative projects seem to flow from you in a never-ending stream. You are full of energy and never lack courage. And I always wonder, I ask myself a lot, why do so many people lack courage? So many people that lack courage. And everything I was ever afraid to do when I was a little girl, I got freaking over it and did it. I got past it and did it anyway. Stuff I was not comfortable doing, but as I understand it, the older I get, we're a spiritual being having a human experience. Now I look around. I was watching Reservation Dogs this morning, and there was a commercial for erectile dysfunction. I'm like, man, these poor guys, so many dudes, they are so concerned with what they can do with their manhood, and then they get to a point and their brains disconnect from their body, and then they ain't quite the man that they used to be. And I remember growing up, I'd wonder why are these girls with these dill holes, and it's because of their manness, But then they get to a point and their brain disconnects from their body, and they're telling their body to be a man, but then their brains are telling them I ain't a man or whatever, So then they got to take these pills, It's just really sad to see the freaking, and then you got the percentage of the population, high dragonfly, where the men want to be women and the women want to be men. I'd hate to be a teacher. Freaking, dude, I don't give a shit what your fucking preferred pronouns are. Why don't I just call you by your stupid name? Isn't that why your parents give you a name? Freaking pronouns, there, this, that, not identifying with freaking sex. That's just stupid, man. That's just people not disciplining themselves. I'm just going to go around and do whatever I want, be whatever I want. And if I'm not comfortable with something, then the whole world has to make me comfortable. Well, there goes. Those little freaking prima donnas are going to get an eye-opening here in the next couple of years, man. I see even my buddies that they didn't even freaking raise their kids to be freaking self-sufficient, dude. Because how are programs gonna freaking that make you reliant on them? They don't teach people to be self-sufficient. They want you to rely on them, right? I was telling my buddy at the coffee shop this morning, I said, I would be a lot for more of these systems and programs and stuff if they ever embraced me and allowed me in to benefit. But they don't. That freaking Upward Bound place I called, been 2 weeks now, or has it been 3 weeks? It's like everybody cares about a veteran. No, they want to fucking house offices and pay people to sit in these offices and buy them letterheads and computers and internet and maybe a robot now that fucking Muskrat is putting out, a catchy little robot, because they got so much money they can piss it away, but it never goes to the people. Are you guys figuring it out yet? And you might not know somebody yet that might need some help in some kind of way that you can't offer, and you're going to watch them. You're going to watch them go through all the systems and go through all the avenues, and you're going to figure out, oh man, everybody has their crack in society. Everybody is just a freaking, a heartbeat or a lack thereof from their life doing a complete 180. It happened to me. I planned for my life. I was completely ego-driven. I was I had all the car, the house, this, stuff. But I lost me. I lost my spirit. I compromised. I had to put up with freaking D-bags that freaking weren't as smart as me all the time. Freaking that made 2, 3, 4 times more money than me when they weren't the ones crawling around on the floor doing the hard work. It's all this imbalance. The whole world's figuring out all these freaking... Dude, you give people the power to do whatever they want. They're going to take that power depending on their heart space, and they're going to do whatever they want. And people are figuring out, who their pervy uncles, husbands, sons... You guys know who these people are. You just have been protecting them the whole time. That creep that freaking when he gets a little too handsy with the young girls or young boys, it don't matter. Once they get a couple of freaking 7 and 7s in them or whatever, right? But people are allowed. They just get away with, that's just the, I would just did that because I was drunk. Well, then why do you drink if you do gross, pervy stuff? A lot of people have people that protect them, and they aren't the ones that need to be protected. People need to be protected from them. Yeah, so things are changing. Things are changing very fast. I'm debating. I'm going around the circle if I want to just only do these and upload them and not even look at I'm about done with the internet. I'm about done with the outside world. I've been having one-sided conversations with people on the internet for years and years. I reach out to people. I want to collaborate and work and have conversations with people and ask them. People don't want to know me, so I usually afford them that gift if not. So most of the time I don't even get answered back. I don't even get an answer back. Not even, I don't count for anything. And people that feel like they don't count in life, they like to make me feel like I don't count. But the thing of it is I know I count. I know my worth. I don't know anybody else with the ability of telekinesis. Nobody. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I'm just saying I ain't never seen it with my own eyes, and I got a laundry list of people that have seen my abilities with their own eyes. They can attest to it. I ain't never been for the mainstream, crowd stuff like that. You start feeling more what people are, not what they're trying to get you to believe that they are. And the world is full of liars and cheats and stuff like that, and I don't even really want to go out much until people start freaking stepping into their own power and becoming the remarkable spirits in which they were intended to be. First, they got a lot of shedding to do. As I look around, there's a lot of shedding to do of those old ideas. So, anyway, I think I've run my mouth long enough. I should probably get some lunch. See about getting some lunch. Heading home. Get this uploaded. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.